What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth. Please hit that like button and subscribe, as that is greatly appreciated. But today, I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on his new project from Travis Scott entitled Utopia. So, Travis Scott, he's not an artist who I listen to regularly, but when he drops a project, I definitely tap in. And that is because this man is a curator who knows how to make good albums, and I typically dig the psychedelic edge to his music. But yeah, this project, Utopia, it's his first solo release since Astroworld 5 years ago, and for hardcore fans, the expectation for this release was through the roof. It contains 19 songs lasting approximately an hour and 14 minutes, but with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. The opener, Hyena, is a hard-hitting way to set this off. It's basically psychedelic boom bap that's a little dusty, and Travis is really rapping here. I mean, he's not saying anything that's quote-worthy, don't get me wrong, but I do like his energy and that he's rapping. And of course, the Parliament funkadelic and psychedelic rock samples go super hard. Track 2, thank God, has some co-production from Kanye. The first instrumental works in some bells and synths. The Mike Dean synths are super clean and crisp sounding. Then for the second beat, we get these weeping strings that are pleasing on the ears. Yeah, as a whole, solid second song. Next is Modern Jam, which was heavy on the Yeezus vibes, both instrumentally and on Travis's flow. But what stood out most was that he used the same drums from Goody Mob's Black Ice. And if you remember, he also used the pianos from their classic Cell Therapy on Astroworld. But yeah, it's a fun up-tempo track that I really can't hate on, and the hook from Tizo, Touchdown, is a nice touch too. After this is My Eyes, one of the more introspective songs, where we get a two-part beat. The first portion is slower, melodic, and dreamlike, but the second half just might contain his best rapping on the album. Still nothing quote-worthy, but I liked his flow and energy on the second half, as well as the warm, slick, atmospheric production. Yeah, he did kind of go in, if that is possible to say for a Travis Scott song. Following this is God's Country, and it easily has the eeriest instrumental on this thing. There is this cult-like vocal harmony that I read was sampled from Rosemary's Baby, which makes it even more sinister. Yeah, this one is for sure going to fuel more of those Illuminati ritual rumors that Travis has going on, but it's a banger that sounded pretty good. After this is Sirens, which has another psychedelic rock feel. And I believe the sample here is from the same artist on the opening song, Hyena. There's also co-production from Sway Lee. Yeah, there were some DJ sound effects that they kind of got carried away with, but it still sounded fly. So yeah, I do have Sirens as a standout. And there is the most talked about song on the album, Meltdown with Drake. It's their successor to Sicko Mode, but one that is a lot darker and moodier. Instrumentally, we get some banging production from Tay Keith and Boy Wonder. Here, Drake is taking some subliminal, but I guess not too subliminal shots at Pusha T, and even Pharrell catches a stray. Damn, Pharrell, man, Drake, he's cold-blooded. But let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this Drake verse overall. Do you think he spazzed? Was it an ill diss track? Because I had a group chat going off earlier today with my boys saying that he spazzed when I thought it was just an okay Drake verse. Track 8 is Fiend with Playboy Cardi and Sheck West. And it's a banger, plain and simple. I love the warped synths, courtesy of Mike Dean. Yeah, it's hazy, druggy, eerie, and most certainly taps right into Travis Scott's whole aesthetic. Immediately after is Del Resto with Beyonce, and it was the first record that I was on the fence about. Because the first 8 tracks I found to be super solid. This has more of a house meets pop flavor, but the rhythms are pulsating. Yeah, I still likely won't return to it, but it's not a bad song. Afterwards is I Know, which has a signature trippy Travis feel to the production. The watery keys give it that late night woozy trap flavor. It's Travis Scott talking about being drunk at 5 a.m. and I was getting somewhat of a rodeo meets Birds in the trap feel production-wise. Track 11, Utopia Twins with 21 Savage and Rob 49 is more of an in-your-face banger with that dirty South energy. We get a dope verse from Rob 49, who hails from New Orleans, and he's kind of on the come-up scene down there, making some big moves in the NO. Then after is Circus Maximus. Attracted is my second least favorite, and the first song that I recall not liking at all. Yeah, I just won't be returning to it. It's too poppy for my ears, and the weekend feature was a bit formulaic. Yeah, I'm sure it's not bad for some folks, but not for me. And hey, I gotta be me, man. Following this is the interlude Paracel, which didn't leave a big impression on me. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It just kind of existed. But I do suppose there was some appeal found in the misty, ethereal beat. Track 14 is Schizo with Young Thug, and it's a 6-minute banger that is kind of hard to dislike. We are getting 4 beat shifts, a solid feature from Thug, some ear-grabbing flows from Travis, who once again was rapping a little more in the traditional sense. Next is Lost Forever with Westside, Gunn, and James Blake, and it's one of the best songs on a project. An unexpected pairing for sure, Travis Scott, Westside Gunn. But it does make some sense considering that they are both curators in their own right. But I love seeing Westside Gunn getting this kind of exposure. And Gunn really killed it for his part. The crisp drums were a real highlight for me. And the samples were beautiful, haunting, and nocturnal. Yeah, it's a must listen you won't be disappointed in, and The Alchemist is listed with a production credit. Track 16 is Love with Kid Cudi. Now, instrumentally, this has a spacey, robotic production with these distorted, bright synths. It's very wavy, high energy, and minimalist, and sonically a vibe that I don't have issues with. Right after was K-pop, easily the weakest song, and everything about this particular track just screamed skip for my ears. Yeah, I was getting big casual listener energy with this track. The second to last song is Telekinesis with Future and SZA, and it's basically a plush Atlanta trap ballad. Very warm melodic crooning from both SZA and Future. And while I did find it to be a bit catchy, I don't view it as a highlight either. Then this album wraps up with Till Further Notice with 21 Savage and James Blake. So it's not a bad closure, but not a memorable one either, and the production did feel a tad bit like a leftover from Metro Boomin's Spider-Man soundtrack. This one just felt like a Metro song featuring Travis and 21 and James Blake. I'm not saying that James Blake can't sing, but does he need to be on every commercial trap-related project? So overall, I'm going to give this project a rating of a strong 3.5 mics. It could potentially go up with more listens, but I say it's a solid return album for Travis Scott altogether. I think Travis Scott improved a bit with his rapping and his hook game since Astro World. The beat change-ups and transitions were all pretty cool and kept the listener on their toes throughout. At the moment, though, it doesn't seem like the highs were as high as Astro World, and it's not nearly as strong as Rodeo, which is his magnum opus. But it's still sonically pleasing and can be played pretty much the whole way through, with the exceptions of songs like Circus Maximus and K-pop. That being said, it was a little long and it could have benefited from a couple less songs. The features were also pretty predictable, which takes away some value too, aside from Westside Gunn, that is, because that was an unexpected feature that turned out great. Favorite tracks include Hyena, Modern Jam, My Eyes, God's Country, Sirens, Meltdown, Fiend, Schizo, Lost Forever, and Love. But let me know your thoughts on this project in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button, subscribe as always. It's peace and blessings. Travis Scott, Utopia.